In this verse, the Lord is giving various pointers or means how you can attune to the transcendental reality. And remember, we saying the fundamental principle of education is to move from the known to the unknown. So he describes it as the imperishable seed, Bijam Avyayam. I am the goal, the supporter, the Lord. I am Sakshi, a witness, abode, shelter. Suhrit, a friend, and the origin, dissolution, substratum. While we were talking about the friend, remember I was quoting reference from the elsewhere from the Gita. In fact, the actual reference is from the 13th chapter, verse 23. Even though we understand as Atman or the self is a pure witness, it's a Sakshi, a witness to all the actions one performs. We understand that the Atman is enlivening force. It enlivens every action. At the same time, the Atman has no interest in whatever action you perform. Just like the electricity enlivens all gadgets. Thanks, man. The electricity enlivens all gadgets, but electricity has no interest in what it enlivens. Like electricity has no interest whether it refrigerates or heats, whether it gives light or breeze or air conditions, it has nothing to do with it, but it enlivens. So while it is the life-giving force, the Atman within remains completely disinterested, detached to all the actions that you perform. So across the board, you can say Atman is a mere witness. But there is a beautiful idea that comes out very uniquely presented in the 13th chapter. Fall back on the 13th chapter, 23rd verse, where he says, Tupadrashtanumanta cha bharta bharta maheshwaraha paramanatmeti chapyuktaha desmin purushah paraha. So he says the Lord there takes various roles. So you can understand that the Atman plays various roles rather than just saying God is a mere witness. We can understand. Now, this concept is applicable to the consciousness. Now, the consciousness is the reality, and the conscience. And as you understand, the conscience is, what is the conscience in a human being? The conscience in a human being is, it is the messenger of God. It's the easiest way to understand. The conscience is the messenger of God because conscience only points you towards the reality, takes you to the path of righteousness. And how do you know whether you're following the right path or not? When you don't follow it, you experience a strong guilt feeling within. Whenever you feel a sense of guilt or a remorse within, you know you're not doing the right thing as far as you're concerned. So the concept I'm going to take or explain here is 13th chapter, verse 23. Now there he says, the Lord or the conscience plays various roles. He says, Upadrashta. The first, he says, the Lord is a witness. First, he says he is a witness. Then he says he is a permitter. Then he says he is a supporter. So first he says he's a witness, he's a permitter, supporter. The fourth, enjoyer. Then he says you become the Lord. And the sixth, he says you become the Supreme Self, Maheshwara. Or you can in fact take both as the same. Let's say the 5 roles. You're a witness, permitter, supporter, enjoy the Lord. Now, what is it that's playing the roles in your life? It is either the consciousness or the conscience. Standard, we can say that the conscience is a witness, like electricity is a witness. It has no interest in anything. Now, the apparent roles it seems to play is based on the 3 types of actions a human performs. Now, what are the 3 types of actions? The 3 types of actions are selfish, unselfish, selfless. So when a person performs actions which are extremely selfish, he says the Atman plays a role as a mere witness, as it just stands apart and watches you do all the selfish actions. It endeavors it. But Atman has no interest in what you're doing. Oh, you want to go and do it? Do it. So most gross, egoistic, selfish actions, Atman has no interest in what you're doing, mere witness. It's like sometimes the parents are not permitting, not allowing the child to do so. When the child does something, okay, you do what you want to do. I have nothing to do with it. So you show an air of disinterest. Witnesses, you have no interest in it. But as you change the nature of your actions from selfish to sacrificial, as you become more unselfish in nature, the consciousness or the conscience start permitting you. Like you permit a child to do something which is the right thing. You allow the child, you give the permission, so you have my permission to go and do it. So as it were, the Atman or the conscience is permitting you to do what you think is the right. So when your actions are leading towards Satyam, this is the a layman's understanding of what is to follow conscience. So when you're living a life of Satyam, which is when your actions become unselfish, the conscience starts permitting you.
This clarification, here, conscience picture at the time of itself.
Conscience coming into the picture.
Time of selfish actions are happening. Right, where we can see. Yes, then the self-thinking of conscience comes into the picture of it was what's been happening right from. So we are going to second stage of parameter stage.
No. When see the first, you see these actions. So as the actions keep changing their character from selfish to unselfish, the roles keep changing. So let's say Atman is a witness when your actions are selfish. When your actions become more unselfish, it starts permitting and supporting. When your actions become largely selfless, maybe a part unselfish, you become enjoyer. When you're 100% selfless, you become the Lord. You are truly the Lord because your actions are the purest form. So you need to understand these 5 aspects based on the 3 types of actions you perform. It's not necessarily all your actions are selfish. Not necessarily all your actions are selfless. So there are actions, sometimes you become very selfish and egoistic. You think your conscience is very comfortable with you?
Yeah, even the conscience will not be comfortable in the time of witnessing the selfish actions which are happening.
That's why I said witness. So this 5 fits into the conscience or the consciousness. Just watching, it doesn't do anything. We are witness. Then gives you permission. And then as your actions become more unselfish, predominantly unselfish, it starts supporting you. Not just, so when you want to embark on a selfish journey, do you find the world supporting you? I want to do something for myself. Do you get support from, let's say even you're in an organization, but you have a hidden agenda. Ramji, you are a member of an organization, but you have a hidden agenda. You want to do something for your own well-being, not the interest of organization. Can you be open about it? Can you speak out your hidden intention of trying to do something for yourself at the cost of the organization? No, you will think twice before you even think of sharing with anybody. Look, I don't know, my God, that's the guy may reveal my evil intent. So when you have a selfish thought for your own well-being, there is a great fear, insecurity. He says, the Atman mere witness, okay, you want to do it, I have nothing to do with it, go ahead and do it. That kind of attitude Atman takes. And the guilt is like dream. But the same person, when he becomes selfish and unselfish and sacrificial, instantly there's a permitter, a supporter. Anumanta is giving you the permission. First is Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta. When you start enjoying, Bharta is a supporter. Bhokta, you're the enjoyer. Even a facility like this that we made it a reality, we want to serve mankind, we want to serve people. The fact that this idea was born from idea to conception, a lot of effort happened. So much so when the thought came up, there were one or two came and said, it's not possible. They put a big question mark. I said, so wait, if it doesn't happen, let's not happen. But the fact it has happened, it cannot happen without the support, isn't it? The pencil I'm using in my hand is supported by somebody. Somebody dedicated it. Somebody encouraged us. Somebody permitted us. Somebody supported us. And now you and I are enjoying this facility. We proud to say, yes, this is ours and we take a lordship over our actions. How is that possible? Only when there is an unselfish or a selfless element that's possible. But where there is selfishness, none of this will happen. That's what you got to understand. You will not be able to get your entire personality to support your work, of course. Yes, sir.
The three actions would they be the same as the three gunas? Sattva, guna, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Actually, based from those.
I wouldn't compare the two. Gunas of sattva, rajas, tamas are a state of your mind.
The actions be also classified as.
You can classify your actions also as sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. But in fact, everything, when as they walked in, they said, we feel a certain aura vibe. It's a sattvic vibe you get. So everything that we chose, the color, the taste, the way everything is being put to a certain appeal. It's a sattvic appeal. We were so particular that, when the flooring was being chosen, I was so particular that the flooring will not be gloss finish. It has to be matte finish. And so is a floor mat. If you notice it. Because I said, if I stand here and talk and it's the floor, the ceiling lights are reflecting, it's all glittery. Anything glittery is rajasic. And I don't want anything glittery. So much so, it has the kind of food you eat, the kind of language you speak. You can speak in a sattvic tone. Anudvedikaram vyakam, this is Satyam Priyahitam Chayat. So when you speak, it has to be Priyahitam, Satyam. That is sattvic speech, austerity of speech. So everything can be classified under that, but the three gunas are nothing but primarily the state of your own mind, sir. Right, sir? Three gunas are state of your own mind. Now, what is sattva? Okay, let's go the other way. What is tamas? Tamas is a state of mind where it is yes, Setuji? Inertia, sloth, indolence, inaction. Right, sir? That's tamas. Now, rajas is a state of mind. Ramji, what is rajas state of mind? Aggressive. In fact, a state of mind. See, when you say a state of mind, it is the effect, not the cause. So, rajasic state of mind is agitated, as Setuji said, it is restless. What else? Ambitious, I would say, it's sattva. Sattva. I have a name for an ambition. It has a positive connotation.
Ambition is just without some people and stuff.
It's not ambition. You got to, it is a personal desire. It's what I want to do. It's not a, when you say an aim or ambition.
Just without their being the father is great.
Ma'am, the word aim, ambition, goal, ideal, or a purpose encompasses everybody. It's a larger interest. The terminology connotes that it has a common cause you're looking for. Opposed to that is a personal agenda or a personal, it's my life, it's my way of doing things. I may not keep your interest in mind. That's not an aim or an ambition. It's my personal approach to life. So I only look at my own interests. That's different.
Self-aggrandizement.
Self-aggrandizement. Yes, you can say that. Selfish, yes, which is primarily selfish. Pass over the mic, sir. Well, mainly because online people should hear you. Yeah.
I was just saying that the Rajasic Guna also has a positive connotation because when you're active, that is associated with being Rajasic. And that is a positive thing. You're mentally active, you're physically active.
In fact, let me complete this and I'll answer the question. Okay, it's a good observation. But okay, Rajas is a state of mind, you are agitated, restless. In fact, you are peaceless. You have no peace. Craving, yeah, you can say that you're operating on craving, etc. Now, sattva is a state of mind where it is in peace, is in poise, is balanced, equipoise, equanimous, etc. This is sattva. Now, happiness, ananda, bliss. Yes. Now, tamas that we have just mentioned earlier is a product of inaction. Right? There's no action. So, as a result of inaction, you are finding yourself at peace. Right? With me here? Now, Rajas, as you said, there is action, but I would like to qualify the action here as a frenzied action. And a frenzy you get into because of the selfish desires, greed, obsession, like Ravana. You know, you want to have self-aggrandizement, you want to have proprietary everything, ownership of everything, I and mine, that kind of an action. So, when you perform such kind of frenzied actions, your mind will be bound to be agitated. It's impossible to keep a rajasic mind peaceful. Now, sattva is where you perform action. Now, what is the type of action a sattvic person performs? They perform inspired actions. Not only are they inspired, they inspire others to live a life of such actions because what they are working for is they have a lofty goal in life. And the loftiest of all is self-realization. They're working for a higher cause. So the actions are sacrificial in the interest of others. So when you perform such actions, you will find a sattvic person will remain at peace. So sattva is where action and peace are in one breath. Rajas is you either have action or mental peace. You are either prosperous or peaceful. There are both. So you want to have both, you must perform sattvic actions. So selfless actions and unselfish actions are sattvic. Selfish actions are rajasic. Tamasic is no action at all. If you want to classify just press and hold, you got a green there? Yes, sir.
No action is entirely selfless or entirely selfish, or it always falls somewhere in between. If I'm earning a living, I'm working for the larger good, be it in the government or the private sector. At the same time, I'm also working to feed myself and my family for themselves. So there is a selfish motive there. Yeah.
What is a degree of selfishness? Is it 5%?
That varies from person to person, situation.
So therefore, every human has a constitution of all the three. And a highly spiritually evolved person, there is a predominance of sattva. Traces of tamas, traces of rajas. So a person who is highly evolved sattva, he is a brahmana. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavyastami. I forgot your name. Abhilasha. Vidya and Vinaya. Vinaya is humility. Vidya is knowledge. So where a person is endowed with knowledge and humility, he is a Brahmana. This is the definition of the Shastras. So you were asking, she was just asking me a little while earlier before the class. How do you define humility? So humility is a quality of a Brahmana. And who is a Brahmana? Not because you are born in a Brahmin clan or in a Brahmin race. No, it's not by birth. But one who is endowed with knowledge and humility, he is a Brahmana. And that's a sattvic quality. So when the sattva in a person is more pronounced, he is more a Brahmana. And they are very naturally indisposed to a certain kind of activity. I'm not trying to impress you. Right from my very early days into this knowledge, I was so comfortable being with books. I'm so comfortable and happy doing the same thing I'm doing. But yet, because of the demand of needing to manage work, okay. So I was naturally had an affinity for studying and studying. Because of the sattva in me that gravitated. In order even to do administrative work and running and organizing all that, is also rajas. And as I found a strong distaste to it. Especially so, the one of the works I had to do was to organize lectures for my group. And there was a time where he wanted to do certain activities. I could realize that he was very keen to build a big corpus at a time so that the organization can go on. So he was on a certain drive of organizing certain talks, which could be remunerative. He didn't want to come and say, I just do a talk and say, what is it to the cause? Nothing. So I could see the clear shift in gear, which really meant that all of his students who were representing, and I used to take care of the Southeast Asia. So if he was studying, that means I had to do a lot. I had to roll out programs which would draw the big corporates and they could fund those events so that the huge resource could be the corpus, which meant that much more work. I remember one of the first such events we did was to do promoting a talk with dinner talks, tables, fundraising with people buying tables. How many people was the first talk we did? Yes, sir. The ballroom couldn't accommodate. They squeezed 100 tables. 100 tables, not 100 people. 100 tables were sold. You remember that? The book release function, 100 tables were sold. And the entire team worked with it. And I was also squeezed in the process. It's not easy. It takes so much out of you. But then, am I doing comfortable doing that? Or comfortable at my desk doing my study? I was far more comfortable. And I found that work kept on dragging me out and out into the world. More and more, meet so many people do that. I want to withdraw inward, but that kind of work was pushing me outward. It was anti my nature. But then I had to do my dharma. So, okay, sir. So, the 13th chapter 23rd verse gives us very beautiful flavor as we learn Upadrashta. You are a witness, permitter, supporter, enjoyer, then you become the Lord. So when your actions are purely selfless or selfish predominantly, you start enjoying it. There's a joy associated with your work, and such actions garner support and it motivates you and inspires you. Otherwise, everyone is struggling. Even to do sadhana, they struggle. Right? If you are struggling in your life, that means there's something wrong with your motive. Your motive is pure, it will happen. It may take time, but it will happen. Rest assured it will happen. That's what the 13th chapter 23rd verse says. Okay. Annapurnama, sorry, I am just seeing the chat box now. Annapurnama, are you there? Yes.
Hari Om Guruji.
Are you able to hear me clearly today?
A little bit of dragging is there, Guruji. Otherwise, so fine. I mean, able to follow, but a little bit of drag of voice is there.
Okay, I appreciate the feedback. We'll work on that. Right. Is it the same? Sanjay, you feel the same?
Yeah, Guruji, it's fine to follow along, but it's not constantly clear. But we're following.
Okay. Okay. Right. Yes, Mahanapurnama. Yes.
Guruji, conscience, at the first step, if the action is selfish, is there an intervention before it becomes a witness or supports? I mean, of course, if the action is selfless and above it supports and permits. But first step, if the action is selfish, is there an intervention by conscience as a warning? Did my am I audible, Guruji? Did my question reach you?
You're audible. Sanjay, how much better? This is better. Sanjay, is it the same?
It feels the same, but Guruji, I'm on a different Wi-Fi, so my opinion might not be trustworthy. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or yours.
How dare you come to India and accuse Indian Wi-Fi? But your tongue.
But I'm following it. It feels like there's a strong echo that's affecting me, my side. I don't know if that's for everybody though.
No, that's nothing to do with Indian Wi-Fi. Something wrong with you.
Okay. Yeah, something wrong with me.
That's established. Thanks, Sanjay. I know the class is not the same without this. Right. Now, another thing, the question is that when there is a selfish action, Does the conscience intervene before it becomes a witness? See, the conscience job is to alert you because the motive is very subtle. It's not a tangible thing to know what it is. Like as we understand action is a neutral thing. What makes an action selfish is a selfish motive. So when you entertain a selfish motive, the first thing that happens is your conscience opposes it. It doesn't give you a license to continue. And it keeps prompting, it keeps telling you to withdraw from that selfish action. So if you continue to get into the action, unmindful of what you start facing the consequences, and as it were, the conscience
becomes a victim. If we ignore the conscience,
if you ignore the conscience, but the conscience is constantly alerts you. It's like the best way to understand the conscience is a sign on a dashboard of a car. And if a light blinks on the dashboard, it means there's something not right. Let's say it could be the heater, the engine is getting heated up, or the carburetor, something is not right, you know. So the light on the dashboard starts blinking. You see it, but you don't heed to it. Carry on driving. What will happen? It will come to a point the engine will cease. So that's exactly the conscience role is. That's why I said it is a messenger of God. It points you to the path of righteousness. So it is actually your motive and the conscience. If your motive is supported by your conscience, you are leading the path of Satyam. If your motive for action is not supported by your conscience, you are leading a life of Asatyam.
thank you, Guruji.
If one continues to be selfish and highly rajasic all the time, your conscience will get annoyed. It will not even prompt you.
You mean to say the conscience has become
That you will not hear. It is so certain.
Sir, there is a mic directly there. Seems
Not redundant, but I think it gets buried with muscles.
as we say, the conscience is the same in a sinner and a saint. But what's happening in a sinner? He either ignores the conscience or can't even hear what the conscience is saying. He can't hear. Shut up. Hidden. So why can't he hear the conscience? Why can't a sinner hear the conscience? We ask Harish.
Hari Om Guruji, can you hear me?
Yes.
Guruji, the sinner can't hear the conscience because they have a motive that's purely for their own lust and greed and ego. They only have motive for themselves.
We can't hear because the desires form a thick veil around the conscience, clouding the conscience. It's like on a bright sunny day, because of the mist and the fog, you don't see the luster, the brilliance of the sun. It's all subdued. The sun is out in its full radiance, but because of thick mist and fog, you don't see the sun. That doesn't mean the sun is not his usual self. So the sun is very gloomy today. He's not in a good mood. Sun is in a moody mood today. The sun is only one mood. No mood. So a sinner is one who either hears the conscience and doesn't follow it, or doesn't hear it at all.
So what happens is that the conscious matrix, it is the mind which is processing, because mind is the operating system. It is processing the inputs coming from the conscience. And so the mind argues, and then it convinces itself that what I'm doing is right. Whatever are the circumstantial situations or whatever it is. So in psychology, they say that there is something called a self-talk. There's always a self-talk going on within us at all the times. That self-talk actually tells the mind that what I'm doing is right. So ignore the conscience. So there is also, apart from what you said, you don't hear. The third angle could be also that you convince yourself that what you are doing is right. So that your business comes down. Otherwise, what happens is that mind goes into resonance. Resonance is the conflict and agitation that we talked about. So to avoid agitation, this person self-talk and self-convincing oneself that what he's doing is right. That's also
So what you are saying is the
from or not caring, this also happens. But third, which happens more frequently, is that there's a development which happens in the mind. When the conscience tells you that what you're doing is wrong, then the mind justifies that what I'm doing is right. Under circumstances, because always you do the wrong things under circumstantial justifications. So we can say that what I'm doing is right under these current circumstances.
now let's say the fourth circumstance, let's say your conscience says something and you heed the conscience, you follow the conscience, then what happens?
Then you change your behavior.
What is happening? As you say, the mind justifies and says, no, I think I need to, it is quite right for me to carry on what I'm doing. And you carry on, continue. But when you checkmate the mind, after heeding to the conscience, what's happening then?
Then the mind will follow what the conscience says.
Is it mind directly following the conscience?
The action comes out of the mind only.
What happened to the intellect?
Intellect, of course.
Intellect. So what is justification? You know what's the definition of justification? I'm going off the mic. I hope you guys can hear me.
I think what you explained last time, justification is used only for doing the wrong things.
Justification means the intellect is actually held hostage by the mind. So the intellect is as a state of mind, and it is the mind. What is the mind here? In the desire, the mind gets conscience. The mind is so powerful, it will say word conscience, and even if it wants to the mind. So even if it's word conscience, that's the mind. So what actually is confined the mind? Sorry? The mind becomes a manipulator, yes. Yes, sir. The manas and the buddhi. Sorry, just what I just did mention on the board is that S-I and G-I, Sanjay. S-I is the subtle intellect, G-I is the gross intellect. Your gross intellect functions or expresses as your convictions. You're convinced on certain things in life. So when your convictions change with time and circumstances, perhaps you're convinced that it's all right to be a non-vegetarian because you're family. Did you not tell me last week that I think UK is one of the, or London or UK is one of the countries, the fastest growing vegan communities in UK. You were saying that, didn't you? And people are switching from being a non-vegetarian directly to a vegan, not via means of being a vegetarian. And I thought very, very interesting to hear that. Did you not say that, Sanjay? So the community, why you think they are making that paradigm shift from being a non-vegetarian to a vegan? Why are they not comfortable? So what is it that has changed? Haven't their convictions changed? So conviction is your intellect. Their mind may not forget the taste of non-vegetarian food. The mind may have the reminiscence of that past habit they had. But since the intellect is strong enough and the conscience is quite clear, it just overrules the mind. So the possibility of justification doesn't come. So we can't leave everything to conscience. So the changing factor there is, the essential factor there is the intellect, sir. Because I know, in fact, that's what Arjuna asks the question in the 3rd chapter. What is that force that compels me to commit a sin against my own wish? I don't want to commit that crime, yet there's that force. Athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha. What is that force that compels me to commit a sin against my own wish? Not that I want to do. So I know that it is wrong. My conscience also tells me it is wrong, yet I'm not able to hold back. Amazing, isn't it? Not that I do not know. I know it is wrong. My intellect understands it's wrong. My conscience supports me it's wrong. Yet I don't have the strength to refrain from. And the reason is you don't have intellectual strength. The mind is so strong, it has held the mind is so strong, it has held the intellect by hostage. So you have no chance. Even though you know you're doing the wrong thing, the sheer force, you are just swept away. Therefore, this wisdom comes to help you build the intellect. It clears the mist of the emotions of the mind. So the wisdom helps you two ways. Wisdom helps you, intellect calms the mind and the mist of emotions subsides. So things starts appearing clearly. And secondly, you're able to follow the conscience which gives you a clear direction. And if you just look at all these ideas, it just fits in so beautifully where it is. There's no contradiction, there is no confusion anywhere. So beautiful idea. The whole idea is so profound. Okay. Harish, all okay? Great. I think which verse of chapter 3? I think it's 36, 37. I'll tell you. 37th verse is the answer. 36th verse of chapter 3. Arjuna is asking this question. And the answer is in 37. The answer he gives. 37th verse he gives. You can get 37th verse, chapter 3. You can get that. So that you all can chant along with me. So 37th verse, Lord Krishna answers, he said, Shri Bhagavad Amayesha Krodhayesha Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhyena Miha Vairinam. Outstanding verse. It says Vairinam. Vairinam means a foe. Nitya Vairinam. It's your constant foe. What is the constant for? Mahashanaha, Mahapapma. It is all devouring, all sinful. Kamayesha, Krodhayesha. It is your own desire. It is anger born out of desire, a quality of Rajogunaha. So the reason why you end up, in fact, in the 36th verse, Arjuna asking, by what impelled does man commit sin against his own wish? Vashniya. As it were constrained by force. Baladiva. The word balat is forceful. So baladiva. So I am, as it were, compelled by force against my own wish. Like somebody is compelling me to do something which I don't want to do. What is that force within me that is compelling me to do something against my wish, O Lord? And he says, it's your own guna, rajogunaha. It is your desire, it is your anger of rajogunaha. It's all devouring, all sinful. It is your foe. The enemy is not on the battlefield out there. The enemy is right within you. What, Arjuna? Well, Arjuna didn't realize that. Thank God he didn't understand. If he understood what would have happened, huh? End of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 3 would be the last. So we are saluting to the stupidity and ignorance of Arjuna. Maybe he lingered a little more, would have got 24 chapters. Stupid fellow, he woke up. So everything is a blessing in disguise, isn't it? All right. So, yes, Hashama, that is chapter 3. Thanks to you, we chanted beautiful verse. Right. So let's take up verse 19. Tapamyahamaham varsham nidhanyamrutsrajami cha amrutam chaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham arjuna tapamyahamaham varsham nidhanyamrutsrajami cha amrutam chaiva mrityuscha Sadasachaham Arjuna. Perhaps little, you might find the message a little contrasting to the subject matter that we discussed, but the thought flow in this verse is in continuation to the previous mantra. He is only enumerating what all he does. He continues that the thought flow. He says, I give heed upon Varsham, I withhold Nigrinam, I withhold Utsrujani. I hold back and send forth Varsham, rain. I am immortality and I am also death. Amrutam Mrityu. Both existence and non-existence, Arjuna. Sat, Asat. So from 17 onwards, he is describing, enumerating the Brahman's manifestations. Where all do you find Brahman? He says, I am in the heat, I am in the rain, I am immortality, I am death, I am in the being and non-being. I means Brahman. Heat and rain, no big deal, easy to understand. And then he says, I am immortality and death. Truth. That's the truth. So you see, no? When somebody sneezes, they say you are speaking the truth. It's the truth. Immortality. What is it that is relatively immortal? Relatively immortal. What is it that dies? UK. Pass the mic. Sir, could you kindly? Everything is nice. Whatever is created, whatever is existing.
Okay, everything dies. Community use include everything into death. Now there's something that doesn't die. Immortality. What is it that is immortal?
Atman is the only thing which is in relatively.
See, we learn, they always use the language of Trinity. They describe God in threefold. 3 steps. So anything that goes to death or subject to death is mortal. Shara, perishable. Right? Shara is perishable. Shara is imperishable. So what is imperishable relatively? Even when you die, there's something in you doesn't die. Because the actual information. You're talking absolute. Okay. The karmic baggage doesn't die. So Shara.
Okay, I'll put it in.
Is perishable. And what is perishable? IO. What is IO?
SR. NGB. Don't say gigabyte. No megabyte, no gigabyte here. What is IO? You're right. GB is the gross body. What is it that perishes? Perishable. The inert objects. Like all this matter is perishable, isn't it? It is, if you leave everything for next 1,000 years, it changes shape and form, it perishes. Right? That's what you said, everything is perishable. No, that's what you meant. So, and all this is gross. Correct? Any difficulty, okay? Easy than it. Is there a doubt there?
When you ask that, I guess I can.
So I'll not ask you. Vasantama, correct? Perishable adane. What is perishable? All the inert objects and gross body. Because when I die, the gross body is going to perish. Now, so this is one. The second is akshara, which means imperishable. Now, we said imperishable at a relative perspective. So, what is it that doesn't die when I die? PM. What is it that doesn't die when I die? Subtle body. What is subtle body?
Subtle matter.
What is the subtle matter? Sukshma Sharira. What is the Sukshma Sharira? It is the mind, the vasanas. So you can say subtle body and causal body. So causal body is so. So subtle body is your mind, intellect, ego. Causal body is your vasanas. So this is carried forward, isn't it? So when I die, only my body perishes, not my desires. Unfulfilled desires and vasanas are carried forward. So relatively, akshara is subtle matter. Now the third is Uttama Purusha. Uttama Purusha is the supreme being, is Brahman. So this is what I said. They speak in the language of Trinity. Kshara, keep that on. They speak the language of Trinity. Kshara, Akshara, and Uttama Purusha. So when he says, I am immortality as well as death, he is referring to immortality as the relative immortality, not the absolute, not 0.3. As well as beings and non-beings, Sat and Asat. Asat is the world. Sat is that which is real. Looks like I better stand today. Now, Sat is that which is unmanifest, that which is real. Asat is the manifest, which is unreal. It's beautiful. Arjuna, Sadasachaham Arjuna. So when you say Sat and Asat, that which is unmanifest is real, what is manifest is unreal. What is manifest to you, sir? The world is unreal. What is unmanifest? Brahman, which you cannot see, which is the reality. He says, I am both. I am this, I am that also, he says. I am everything. But not for you and me. For a realized soul, I am everything. Because you can't see Brahman in the world. Are you able to see Brahman in the manifest world? Can't. You're not able to see. But we understand is unmanifest. I don't know how we understand that. Conveniently we say yes, it's unmanifest. But we don't know that either. But for a man of realization, I am everything. I am birth, I am death, I give heat, I withhold and give rain, I am immortality and death and being and unbeing. In effect, I am everything. It's a typical language from a standpoint of an absolute standpoint. Again, it's all pointers to reflect. Very strong pointers. If you are a sadhak and you need ideas to contemplate, these are the ideas. Now moving on,
which we come back next week. From the 20th verse till the 28th verse, he is giving the third topic, where he is going to say, one attains whatever you strive for. Whatever you strive for, you attain. And in the 20th and 21st verse, he's talking of people, those who strive to attain heaven, they get heaven. But they are not seeking Brahman. So they go into the meritorious worlds, enjoy the Indraloka, but they have a return ticket with them. They come back. It's not a path of no return, it's a path of return. Very beautiful. There's a very unique, typical Vedic language which talks there. So when we come back next week, we'll get on to the 20th verse. Okay? Why next week? No, only next week. I already written there, no, on the board. Ama, what is existing? Is a manifest. What is unmanifest? The unmanifest supports the manifest. Without the unmanifest supporting the manifest has no existence. 2 examples. You write down 2 examples, and if you think still you need further clarification, come back. 2 examples is what you see in a tree is the manifested portion. Right from the trunk to the branches and leaves, you see is the manifest. Unmanifest are the primary and secondary roots. The tree is standing because of unmanifest roots. Isn't it? Without the unmanifest supports the manifest. Second example is Shivalinga. What you see is the manifested half ellipsoid. The other half is that which is unmanifest, which supports the manifested seen world. I am both, you see. Okay, but you only see me, you can write down. It's very disappointing. Shri Sarvajnani, sir, I don't know why do I have to explain myself? Even before I explain, she nodded in head, sir. Oh my God.
So go by the principle that the world exists because of our ignorance of Brahman. And without Brahman, there is no world.
Because, so can you come again, sir? So when we are explaining unmanifest and manifest both, being me, when he says, if he is not there, there is no world, because world is a world is taken by our ignorance of Brahman. If Brahman is not there, there is no world, because then there is no ignorance. Right? So our ignorance actually is a reason for the creation of the world. And so that's what I think we discussed once, that because Brahman is there, ignorance has a role to play. That's how he's there on both sides. That's how I think we explained it once.
No, that's the right idea. But these are, when we say pointers to reflect on money, if we limit
To the unknown realm, we can't get to it. So by saying Brahman exists in all the known hemisphere, in all that is known to you also is God. But the mistake one makes is to limit God to the known factors. Okay, you go to a temple and worship God. Obviously, God is there in that sanctum sanctorum, in that idol. Correct, sir? God is there, no? Huh?
sanctum God is there. You mean to say God is not there in the compound of the temple? He is there beyond the sanctum sanctorum. Every
Aspect of the temple, God is there, isn't it? Now, what's the mistake you should, as seeker does? The mistake you make is you limit God to that sanctum sanctorum or that place of worship. You go beyond that and say God is everywhere.
Presence more strongly than before. Very challenging. It's hard to
So, presence of God is the presence and presence of God is pronounced as so this is very important. It's just that I lack the perception to see him. But if this hall has, let's say, been locked up for 6 months, and when you come into this hall, you feel the air very foul because we are locked up. There's no air circulation. But has the space been contaminated? The air is foul. But is the space been contaminated? And when you came from Europe, when you bring, let's say I remember this example of my movie. We saw somewhere in South Africa in a van where transparent plastic bags, they were blown up and sealed and they were hanging. And we kept seeing them all over. It was about a year ago. And then when he went and asked, what is that they are selling? They're selling sea breeze. I'm not concocting here. So you open the plastic and the sea breeze enter, you quickly seal it, and then you come and sell it. So when you open, I feel the sea breeze. Okay. If you do that, I want, sir, you have polluted air, sir. And fresh air, seal paint, and then put it in there. Correct? You can bring the air, but you can space from there to there. Can't bring space because space is too subtle, air can't pollute it, air can't contact it. So, just like space is too subtle to be contaminated, government is too subtle to be divinized or non-divinized. It's the same everywhere. The use of the method or the purification process of making God. God in this way table. I don't see this table and that idol any difference. Just petal, just different piece of names and forms. All are thoughts to reflect. So how far would you go to see God? You don't have to go far. Sit where you are and look around. God is everywhere. Manifest, unmanifest. The entire manifested world, God is there, man. Why do you have to find pockets of manifestation and then go and experience it? You should feel it. Okay. But at least that episode of Prahalad, it just exemplifies and beyond doubt that it is there. He just puts it in a poetic way. Don't literally expect, don't start breaking place in God's field. You know, God is there. You have the eyes to see, you see it. That's it. Okay. All right. Thank you. Shishate Shanti, Shanti.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om